accounting folks get involved again, and they're going to use that payment now to fund a purchase order, which now turns that save the date award job thing into a real, okay, you're hired, you're scheduled, we have the money, we're going to pay you to do this. This is a contract between the Energy Improvement Project Manager Company and the subcontractor or their own internal crews, that yes, we're going to do this work, we're going to pay you. So they fund a purchase order, which, or they request terms of their contractor. Subcontractors can offer terms as well, and you might say, okay, you do the work for me and I pay you 30 days after I get paid by the homeowner. So they can set up terms, your subs can set up terms, and you can request to make use of those terms. But in either case, that releases the purchase order, which is pretty much a notice to proceed. That brings in another security, another permission called the FPM manager, or the FPM. They handle field project management. These folks are making sure that the schedule is kept, that the workers are showing up. Here, we'll see what they do right here. They're managing the schedule. They're managing the project quality assurance. They're managing project communications. So they're handling the schedule. They're the Microsoft Project folks. Only they don't need Microsoft Project because they're in the Retrofit Exchange. And that also then brings in the crew manager. The crew manager, you could be hiring your own crew if you have internal crews to do this work, or you could be subcontracting out. These are the people who actually go out in the field and do the job. So in this case, it'd be an auditing crew. And the crew manager decides who's going to do that work. They manage the crews. They can either do it themselves or they can delegate it, and they figure out what they're doing because they have received tasks from the field project manager from the system saying, hey, you need to be here at this day, this time, and do this work. If they choose to delegate it, they delegate it through our system into whatever crew they're going to delegate it to, and the person who's the head of that crew is called the crew leader. The crew leader actually goes on site with their crew members. It may be a crew of one. Maybe it's just the crew leader, or it's a crew with crew members, and they'll be on site working and getting that stuff done. They perform the work. In this case, an energy audit is what they're going to perform. They also need to finalize the audit and finalize the improvement analysis. Now, what makes this system unique among energy online and automated energy auditing systems is that improvement analysis piece. Rather than just estimating and guessing how much things are going to cost, we know how much things are going to cost. And how do we know that? Because when you finalize the audit, it creates a request for pricing that goes back to our subcontractors who are going to do the work for doing the insulation and the air sealing and the HVAC tune-ups and all of that kind of thing. The contractors who are in that business, and that could be in your company or that could be an external contractor, responds to those requests for pricing. It's their pricing that's used in that improvement analysis, so we know that the financial calculations that we're performing on that improvement analysis actually are based on real numbers from real contractors who work in that real county, and not just RS means or some other method of trying to come up with something that's somewhat valid. Now, being in the energy retrofit industry means that there's a few new players and a few new terms that you may not have thought of if you're, for instance, a remodeling contractor or a construction subcontractor who has been in this industry. We've incorporated a few new permissions and a few new players into this to handle the energy retrofit industry. One is called the audit manager. The audit manager has permissions called survey manager because the audit is very much like a survey. The energy audit is a question-answer format. It's a survey. So this is the survey manager permission, and this new role needs to take place in order to be able to monitor the auditors and the audits, monitor the quality of the audits that are being performed, basically mostly managing program paperwork. You may be doing energy audits for an energy mortgage. You may be doing also This customer may be interested in an energy mortgage. They may be interested in the Home Performance with Energy Star program. They might want a Cool Homes rebate for the new air conditioner that they're going to put in. You know, there could be several programs coming together and dovetailing into this one project to help finance it. And the survey manager is the person who has to make sure they understand that, they know that, all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and all the information is put together. So they ensure that those program requirements are being met. There's another player, which is a HERS rater. That's Home Energy Rating System, HERS rater. If this is an energy mortgage tool or a financing that comes from the mortgage industry, they're likely going to require a HERS rating. So that means you need to get a HERS rater involved, and they will work with the BPI building analyst who's doing the audit. That person would be handling the field work, and the HERS rater would be signing off on the financial pieces of that. Whoops. Then the other new person involved is a QA provider, the rating or audit QA provider. And that's not a Retrofit Exchange term. That's if you have a HERS rater involved, every HERS rater has to report to a rating provider to perform quality assurance on their work. They monitor audits and auditors and raters. They monitor the QA. They aggregate and archive information. They track the certifications and the training of the auditors and the raters that are involved. So it's basically for an energy improvement project manager, this is another level of assurance that you're getting what you're paying for and that your programs and your processes are going to actually qualify for what it is you're looking at. So that's not a Retrofit Exchange role, but if you get a HERS rater involved, you have someone else who's also overseeing that HERS rater and helping make sure that they're doing what they need to be doing. And since that's one thing my company does, I had to plug it, right? So the audit information, the improvement analysis information, and the HERS rating information, which includes savings to investment ratio, return on investment, simple payback calculations, all the financial calculations that go along, come into that audit manager who is going to review that audit improvement analysis and the HERS rating. And how do they know that they can count on the numbers that are in here, that this return on investment is real, the savings to investment ratio is real? Well, because their own internal accounting department has reviewed those responses that came back and has awarded the jobs, so they've locked in that pricing. So we know that we're going to be just fine. That way the audit manager now can give that improvement package to the customer support team who reviews it with the homeowner. So your homeowner has one face to your company, that's your customer support team, but they've got all these people working behind them to help make that happen. The homeowner reviews that information, approves an improvement package, decides what it is they want to do, and of course now they have to pay for the improvements. So how do they pay for it? Well, one of the same methods. They're going to request the funding, the financing, they're going to go to program funding, check, credit card. CSR will receive the payment. The accounting department funds that purchase order. The field project manager manages the schedule and the quality assurance and the project communications. Crew manager receives those tasks, delegates that work to the crew leader who shows up on site, makes sure it happens. This time they're performing work. It's insulation, it's air sealing, it's new windows, it's new furnaces. They're performing that work. So the crew performs the work, and then the system schedules the auditor or an auditor to come back and do post-improvement testing. So now the auditor comes back, says that the correct amount of insulation was put in, reruns the tests to find out how much energy has been saved, and to make sure the house is still healthy and safe. And when they finish that post-improvement test, they give the information, the final results report goes back to that audit manager who is checking that out, making sure it's done right. They're giving it to the customer support person who presents those results to the homeowner, and the homeowner, of course, always has the last word and says whether or not you did what you said you would do and gives that approval. So there's our flow. Very simple and easy, right? There's a lot involved, and there's a lot of permissions involved, and there's a lot of people involved, or there's one person wearing a whole lot of different hats. So this hopefully helps you understand kind of the overview of a retrofit project, energy retrofit project, and how it's all involved. And now let's go into how you do this in the Retrofit Exchange. So once again, we're back to the master user, the homeowner. They request an energy audit. Oh, wait a minute. How the heck do they request an energy audit? How do they even know that you're giving out energy audits? Or not giving out, but selling energy audits. And how does that work? Well, customer marketing is one of the things that's built into the Retrofit Exchange, and that's part of the customer support role. They're marketing to the customer. They're your sales and marketing team, as I said before. So when a CSR signs in, they click at the top menu on the Customer Management main menu, which takes them to a sub-menu. And on that menu, there's something that says HO Sign Up Widget. Well, that means Homeowner Sign Up Widget. And what that looks like is this. It's a little bitty code snippet that you take that little piece of code and you put it on your website, or you put it on your next-door neighbor's website, or you put it on your insulation contractor's website, or you put it on your neighborhood group's website, or your church's website. Any website you can think of, and that's going to get you energy audits. And how do they know that that's your code snippet and comes to you as an EIPM? It has written in there EIPM ID equals. That number is unique to you as the Energy Improvement Project Manager, and that means anybody who, when this code snippet goes in place, it creates a form on the web page. Anybody who fills out that form will come to you as a customer because you are the EIPM that took the time to go out and get your web form on all these different web pages. The form itself will fix itself to match the background of your site, and you just put all your marketing text and pretty pictures and whatever you want around it. The customer fills out this part and clicks Finish the Sign Up. That takes them into the interview where they answer all of the energy questions about why do they want an audit and how big is their house and how many heating and cooling systems do they have and what do they use to heat it, and things that help an energy auditor price their services. So your homeowners requested the energy audit. The CSR manager and CSR now need to contact the customer, verify the information, etc. Sell the services, finalize that homeowner questionnaire. How do they do that? Well, the CSR manager has permission to assign CSRs to different customers. So once a new client comes in, the CSR manager clicks on their customer management menu, and they can click on new inquiries to see the new inquiries, or they can click on unassigned CSR to see the ones that don't have a CSR assigned, and they click Assign CSR. Now they can assign the customer support person who's going to walk that homeowner through everything that they do. When they click that hyperlink, they're taken to this screen, which shows all the available customer support reps in your company, and all they have to do is click Assign. That puts that customer on that customer support rep's screen. When they come in and sign in, they're going to see they have a new customer, and they're going to know how to manage that person. So they come in, and they pick the customer from the drop-down list that they want to work with. So you've got a customer there. Pick your customer, and when you open that up, you can then click on homeowner, what does it say, homeowner interview? And click on homeowner interview on their menu, and it brings them right into the interview that the homeowner has already filled out online.